Hey everyone, how's it going? Alright, we're gonna wait for a few more people to come in here. So I have been tirelessly trying to get this damn thing updated. Um, and instead of using the original mind map, we're gonna go through it all. It's gonna be a night, okay? So just bear with me tonight. It's a lot. So give me one sec. I'm gonna turn my LED lights off real quick. They're like they're messing up my camera, so it's very weird. So I'm trying to figure out my lighting right now. So yeah, this is taking place. Hambone's asleep right now, so he's just been tired. So we're just gonna do this tonight. I think it'll be interesting. Just to kind of see what you guys think. We did kind of go over it with Boss Blunts this morning. I actually don't know what time frame it was exactly because I've kind of lost track of time at this point. So we are going to go through this, and hopefully maybe if Hambone wakes up, we can have his little segment too tonight. We'll just go over time. All right. So I have at the very top, in the nest of the Twitter space, I have put that in so you guys can follow along if you'd like to, or if you guys want to watch on YouTube. I'm going to be hosting it here as well. Cool. All right. So let me get this all fixed and everything. All right. And for people in YouTube, I will give you guys the link as well. So this will be the one that I edit around. So if you guys log into it tonight, and then, it's different, it's one way, and then tomorrow you're going to see things that are different, because I'm going to be working on this throughout the night. If you guys see things that are just different, that's why. It's because I'll be working on it and everything. So let me see. I've got to find... There's too many tabs, guys. I think I have like 9 windows and a million tabs on each of them. Okay. So shoot. Okay, I will... can I get some hundreds if you guys want me to tweet out the original mind map? Have you guys all seen this? Yes, no? I'll just send it out. I'm sure if you've been all around Twitter today and follow me, I know you've seen it today, because everybody for some reason decided to share it. So for space. So I will, if you guys want to go on, I'm not going to put it in the nest. I guess I can. Sorry, I'm just a little flustered. I haven't done this for a while. Hey, Tampa Kurt, what's going on? All right, let's dive in. So you guys are about to, anyone that has never seen this, if you guys have never seen this, you guys are going to get a look at how my brain works, right? Mine and my husband's, because we both do these. So I will, let's see. There we go. So this is a snapshot of my brain and how I connect things. And let me put this one in the nest. And if you guys do want to come up, ask questions, or if you guys have anything to add to it, you're more than welcome. If you guys want me to just shut up, just tell me, hey, Kenna, shut the fuck up, and I will. All right, let me get this over to YouTube. You guys are welcome for the link. All right, here we go. So the OG mind map This is outdated. I said this a few times on Boss Bluntz's stream last night. This is outdated information, and this is why it needs updating. And so I had to, unfortunately, when I first wrote up my DDs, if you guys have ever read the, infinite loops or anything like that, there are, I was very optimistic when I first started writing these because I was, I'd found this really cool, interesting thing. Two, I was like, okay, I know that BlackRock and Vanguard are in AMC and GME, and this I figured would be a powerhouse move. Like, I was like, okay, maybe this is the power behind, the MOAS, right? These are the people invested into it, which they still are, but it got even weirder. It got weirder as my research went on, right? Can't stop. Kenna, please don't shut up. I can listen to you for hours. Oh, whatever. You guys are weird. So we'll run through this as fast as possible because this is taking infinite loop 1 through 3 and making it as concise and precise as possible. So if you've never heard this, cool, welcome aboard. You guys are going to have a very interesting experience. If you have heard this, I am sorry. Just know that. Hey, you. All right, so why I'm stuck here on AIG. AIG, for those that don't know, AIG, it was a battle between AIG and Lehman Brothers back in 2008 to see which one would actually get bailed out. And because AIG was more interconnected into the financial world globally, they couldn't help but, have to save AIG. It's not the case so much anymore. I'm trying to figure out if that's my child or my cat. Sorry. AIG is the American International Group. So, and they're actually like the financial insurance group. So they're like the insurers to the financial. Okay, that would be my cat. Sorry, guys. But there is a significance. I have no idea what the hell my cat is doing. I'm sorry, guys. He's very angry. So anyway, the reason why I went to AIG, I wanted to see who was invested into AIG still. And so that's where you see everybody around AIG. That's the purple and the pink and the black and the red. So the significance to the colors on this, the purple is, I didn't find too much about them. They weren't very, important to what I was looking for. So there's purple. Delaware, which is pink. They are, they kept coming up, but not into a point where it became, important for me to put anything in. That's where I said, guys, this is all very, very outdated. I'm talking like June outdated. We're in October. God, we're in October already. So that's why this is all being updated. Red, Wellington and Invesco, they are very interesting groups in the sense of what, there's money funneling through them. They don't really do a lot. In my opinion, and just my opinion, they don't do too much, but Invesco kept adding additional ETFs that would hold GME. So that was interesting. But so then we have the black. So we have Sun America, Vanguard, Goldman Sachs, Morgan Stanley, T. Rowe Price, BMO, BlackRock, and Wells Capital. And JP Morgan, I don't know if I said that one or not. Sun America, BMO, not much in the ways of the infinite loop. But with Vanguard, BlackRock being my north and south, JP Morgan and Morgan Stanley, because they are brothers essentially, brother companies. That's why they're my east and west, and then everyone else fills around. It became very interesting, and to see the infinite loop of money, right? So why I say that, so we know BlackRock. BlackRock does some really shady things. And the more that we've discovered, throughout the last few months, the just crazier this place gets. So BlackRock, they have control ownership meaning a 13 GA filing on with the SEC so they have kind of a say in how these companies are run, right? And this isn't like a 13F where they're just buying shares or puts or calls or anything like that. This is a pretty big deal. So they have it from Morgan Stanley, Goldman Sachs, JP Morgan, obviously AIG. And so Morgan Stanley, you guys will find, is kind of my horror of a company. They're everywhere, and it's disgusting. They were the original infinite loop of money that I saw. And so BlackRock also does have investments. They have 13F filings into Vanguard's ETFs, multiple. And so then we have Vanguard. Vanguard has these control ownership, 13 GA filings, whatever, with Janus Henderson, Ameriprise, JP Morgan, Goldman Sachs, Morgan Stanley, AIG, and lo and behold, BlackRock. They actually have they actually, I checked this today, obviously, and you guys will see this, but they still have this control ownership of BlackRock, so they actually have a pretty big stake in BlackRock. But they also have 13 GA filings for Invesco and Blackstone Mortgage Trust, so I'm still trying to look that one up, but we'll get back to it. JP Morgan has ownership only from Vanguard and BlackRock, but they have 13F filings at this point, and a lot of this is still true. 0.72 BlackRock, Vanguard, Citadel, Morgan Stanley, Wells Fargo, Wells Capital / Wells Fargo had 13F filings, and 0.72 Susquehanna, Citadel, Vanguard, BlackRock, whatever. And this is actually the one that Berkshire Hathaway basically like pieced out of. They were like, no, we're not dealing with Wells Fargo. Goldman Sachs still has Berkshire Hathaway, Vanguard, State Street, Capital, World, Strategy IQ, BlackRock, Bank of America. Vanguard has their hand in Bank of America. So like this is all this interconnecting, right? So why was this important, right? So this led us over tier 2, GameStop and AMC. Again, this is very outdated. I'm going to keep saying this because it is crazy how much this has changed. These were the 13 DG filings for GameStop and AMC. This wasn't 13F filings. These were people that had actual control into the say of how the companies were run when I did this. And so, we see Vanguard, BlackRock, Dimensional Fund. Those were some of the three that were connected between GameStop and AMC, but you also had Citadel Advisors having a control ownership of AMC, 0.72. Why, those two are important because they both bailed out Melvin Capital, right? AIG actually had control ownership of GameStop, so did Silent Assets, so that's Dr. Burry. RC Ventures is Ryan Cohen's. Capital World, Maverick, Susquehanna, and a lot of different ones. So this was pretty huge. So then we keep going over here to the right. These were all the ETFs at one point that AMC and GME sat in. This is actually, exponentially grown since then. I think it's like 95 roughly for GME and 50 some odd for AMC, and they still share 26. So that's where you see these little, I called them fireworks. Here's GME's ETFs, here's AMC's ETFs. This little firework over here are the ones that they shared. So this is where, if they manipulated the ETFs at one point, it would cause stocks within those ETFs to go up or down at the same time. So then, down here, so this is kind of where my stopping of doing this damn mind map came from. Because at one point, I was on the track with Citadel Advisors, and they owned Apex Clearing. And the day I finished this part took me about a week to do. The minute I finished this part of the mind map, they sold Apex Clearing, and I about fell out of my chair. I was so pissed. I was like, you've got to be kidding me. And I didn't want to do any more research on this corruption at this point. Like, I was so done. But just for you guys to know, I wanted to find out who used Apex Clearing versus just being like self-clearing. And And this isn't for like the payment for order flow or anything like that. It wasn't anything to do with the payment for order flow. It was literally just the clearinghouse, who they had to go through for the clearinghouse. And I found Public, Wealthsimple, Ally Invest, Twine, another Ally Invest Management, SoFi, Betterment, Sogo Trade, First Trade, Stash Invest, M1 Finance, Stockpile, Open Invest, Tastyworks, Rise, Webull, and Axis Invest. And so these were all using this Apex Citadel owned or Peak 6 or something. That they're all tied into Citadel. And so then they sold it off, and well, I pretty much said F you on that. And so, but we did find the institutional short sellers that were at that point. And this was pretty much the entire list. Like this, oh my God, my brain was pretty much done at this point. But AMC short sellers, GME short sellers, the blue had indicated that they'd closed their position, and then pairing up the ones that had shorted both of them. And then over here is our real estate bubbles, but we won't go through that right now because it's not, I don't have that section yet onto the updated. So now onto the updated map. A little bit cleaner, right? Just a smidge. So I am tracking now. This is why this is called the Big Short 2.0. And now bear with me on this, because I have not run this through at all. I have not said any of this out loud. I've literally just been typing at my computer for the better part of, I don't know, 9 hours, probably. So, okay. Big Short 2.0, this mind map. We're going to be tracking government. And this also includes, the timeline for Fauci and all that. The following the money for that. It's going to track, the debt ceiling. It's going to track anything that has to do with the government. I'm going to put this in here. So this map is going to take me a while to complete, but it's okay. It'll probably be my ever-evolving one that I tried to do with the first one, but I just kind of got locked doing what I was doing. So then I also have brokers. So I tried to figure out the top 10 that most people use. If you guys can figure out a different one, if you want to switch one out, I can do that. Hey, Johnny Rocket, Heat Inferno, what's going on, guys? You guys talking about the Bucks game? But yeah, so anyway, we have Vanguard, E-Trade, SoFi Wealth, Robinhood, Webull, Interactive Brokers, Fidelity, TD Ameritrade, Wealthsimple, and First Trade. Are the kind of the ones I want to look at, because I feel like those are the ones I hear a lot of people talk about using. So if you guys, like I said, if you guys can figure out a different one that you want to switch out for whatever, that's cool with me. We're also going to be looking at the banks. Of course, we got to follow the money, because we're kind of trying to figure out which one's going to actually go down. Is it Bank of America? Is it going to be Goldman Sachs? Is it Morgan Stanley or JP Morgan? It's there's a lot of them. And what's really interesting that I'm finding is that there's nobody that actually wants to touch JP Morgan. There's no entity that really wants to invest in JP Morgan, which I think is very interesting. Like there's like some off, smaller investments within JP Morgan, but JP Morgan itself, like, I find interesting that nobody wants to touch it. Like Bank of America, you have Berkshire Hathaway owning 11.9%. Then again, these are the 13 GA filings. Just looked up today. This is about as early access as I can get without having to figure out, to log into somebody's Bloomberg or something like that. And I am going to go through and re-verify all of this information, at a later date. But this is the fast information that I can find. Vanguard has a 7.11% control ownership of Bank of America. BlackRock at 6%. Bank of America does have a 13F filing for Citadel and Susquehanna with calls, puts, and shares. They have completely hedged themselves on these two, and that's where I finished. This is where I finished tonight, was getting this information in here. So I'll be working on the banks tonight, probably, and getting that information. But so what I did do today, for the big part, is AMC and GME. Because I know that's what everyone's here for, right? You guys don't give a damn about the banks. let's not kid ourselves here. You guys are like, yeah, they can fall, whatever. What's going on with our stocks this week? I had a majority of my holdings in SoFi during January-February sneeze. I got into a bunch of fights and had to close my accounts at a huge loss. Really? Oh my gosh. They can't compete with JP Morgan's algorithm. Yeah, no, probably not. You're probably right. Anyway, so GameStop. I did this a little bit differently. So the 13 DG filings. So we have BlackRock, Vanguard, Maverick Capital, RC Ventures, Permit Capital, State Street, Senvest, Dimensional Fund Advisors, Susquehanna. So keep those wits about you with Susquehanna. You guys are gonna get pissed off about this, because I was like, wait a minute, what the hell? And so I was trying to add all these up earlier, but my brain was just not doing it. But they, like, the corporate investors actually own quite a few of the shares. So that's kind of insane. So let me come over here. The ones that I have the screenshots, there's way more than this, obviously, but these were just the recent large short positions. So people putting puts or anything like that onto GameStop, what I would assume that they have a short position on GameStop. So we have JP Morgan. Again, JP Morgan had, remember, if everybody remembers a few months ago, JP Morgan had closed out their short position on GameStop. Yeah, they just opened up a new one a couple weeks ago. Kid you not. I was like, what the hell? So JP Morgan, CMT Capital, Citigroup, Picton, Mahoney, Hap Trading, UBS, yeah, I don't care about you, Capital Advisors, Cessa, Hound, Prelude, Walleye, are just the kind of interesting ones. AMC down here. So you guys remember the bubbles here. The information that I'm reading to you, the 13 DGs, that's what this was, right? So AMC went from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Hey, there's an easier way to do this. Give me a sec. They had 21. They had 21. They are down to 4. They are down to 4 DG filings. Now again, this isn't the 13F filings, but that is insane to me. So you have BlackRock with 5.93 million shares. Wanda still holding on to their 10,000 shares. Murdoch has 4.62 million shares. And I tried reconfirming this a few times through different things, and it still says that they still have that. So I don't know if there's just a delay or they're still holding on to that. Vanguard was 7.66 million shares. So not much. Again, there's 13F filings, so we'll see how that all goes. But for this one, Ellington, Millennium Management, Anchorage, and Peak 6. This is where I wanted to show kind of the combined ones that are shorting both. So the yellow and orange, why they're together. So they're shorting both GameStop and AMC. So ouch, MOAS happens and they're short on these two stocks. That is going to effing hurt like none other. So like we have Wolverine, Susquehanna. Susquehanna, remember, has this good little chunk of shares in GameStop, but it's still shorting it. And AMC, Simplex, Group 1 Trading, IMC, Chicago, Goldman Sachs, Hightower, D.E. Shaw, 263 Capital, Bank of America, Citadel, Nomura. I think I got them all. So yeah, that is the craziness that is going on with just the shorts. I mean, like I said, I have the screenshots and everything to attach with the DD when I do write it up, because there are quite a few. But these were just kind of the ones that were, pretty recent and pretty high number of shares within their positioning. Can't stop. Aren't banks allowed to take other banks' debt obligations to keep them solvent until they're able to pay it off? Kind of like just doing some debt swaps. They can, but so that's where the infinite loop comes in. If they're all kind of going under, nobody has money. The banks won't have money. And so that's kind of where it gets very tricky in this sense. So I yes, they can, but it's whether or not they, like, all these banks have enough money to do so. Hey, Brian, what's going on? Everybody keeping up with me on this? So I'll move on from here. AMC, GME, the ETFs. These are all of GameStop's ETFs that is sitting in currently. And AMC's are down here. And then they're still sitting in 26 combined. Yes, AE, what's going on?
Yeah, so it kind of makes me wonder with the Susquehanna, I think I pronounced it correctly, if they've got different branches or different arms doing different things and not knowing or not aware of what they're doing. If that's a
Oh,
possibility.
I'm sure they all know what they're doing. They're just hedging. They're literally just hedging themselves because that's what they do. Susquehanna is they're not, like, from what I remember reading about them, they're kind of a shady group anyway. Somebody can correct me if I'm completely off with that one, but I don't remember them being a very um, good group. But like I said, they have 4.41 million shares in GameStop, and that's not with a 13F. So I have to dig more into the 13F, but I found that very odd that they were shorting both AMC and GameStop.
Interesting.
Brian, how's the weather in Florida? Texas has been raining. It has actually been very beautiful. Our highs have been in the mid 80s, lows are in the low mid to low 70s. It's been beautiful. It's like perfect weather right now. Um, anyway, so that's pretty much it. So I'm also looking at hedge funds. Um, so this is the part that infuriates me because I just can't stand reading about these groups because I know what they're doing and it pisses me off. So we have Susquehanna, BTG, Pactual. This is at request of Boss, Blunts, State Street, JGP Global, Vanguard, Apollo, Simplex, Point 72, Melvin Capital, Citadel, Jane Street, Group 1 Trading, USB, God, UBS. Sorry, guys, the dyslexia tonight's kind of bad. And BlackRock. I did finish Vanguard's the amount of information I wanted from Vanguard. Wells Fargo, they have a 7.65% control ownership. Goldman Sachs at 7.45. Morgan Stanley 6.39. BlackRock 7.96. Citigroup 8.08, and Bank of America at 7.11. So that Bank of America might hurt them. They also have a 13F filing investment in JP Morgan for almost 8%. So then we also have BlackRock. Remember, BlackRock's invested into Vanguard. Vanguard is also invested into BlackRock with a control ownership. BlackRock also has a 6.1% in Morgan Stanley, 6.9% in Wells Fargo, 7.5% in Citigroup, and 6% in Bank of America. They also have a 13F in Credit Suisse for 1.95 million shares. So that's pretty much what I'm looking at right now and trying to figure out if MOAS over here pops off, how bad is it going to be? How bad are the banks going to get hurt? Or the financial institutions? Because, you have to remember these hedge funds over here, they rely on the banks and the banks rely on them, and they're all invested in random ass shit over here. So it's a mess. It is 100% a mess. But if anybody has questions, I can try to clarify. If you're still kind of lost. Other than that, it's pretty much what I have right now. Like I said, I haven't gotten to test it out, so I haven't gotten it dialed down to that precise, like, this is what we're looking at, blah blah blah. And there's so much more that I have to put in there. Hi y'all, just trying to keep up the I saw on my Fidelity app that other ownership was 57%. I'm guessing that is us. I am double checking that now. BlackRock and JP Morgan working together. I I would not think so. I would not think so. Like, nobody really wants to touch JP Morgan. So the fact that I found that Vanguard had some kind of investment into JP Morgan, that 8%, that was actually kind of an interesting find. Because, like, and the other thing is, like, no one's touching Citadel or Melvin or Point 72. I can't find people even putting 13F filings into having any kind of investment in them. So that's been kind of interesting. BlackRock is behind everything. It would be bad. Yeah, oh yeah, 100%. Like, I really am sketched out with BlackRock. Because as we know they have all kinds of stuff. And it's not just BlackRock, with the housing stuff. That's Zillow. That's a lot of different institutions with the housing market. But just the overall generalization of how BlackRock is and what they did in the 08, and just kind of what they're doing now is kind of just a little bit sketchy, in my opinion. Let's see. Both use Julia. What? I'm not exactly sure what you mean, Johnny Rocket. They all own a piece of each other, and it seems like it's in all of their best interest that all of them stay afloat. Oh yeah, 100% can't stop. 100%. Like, and that's the BS that we're dealing with right now, is that whole idea of, you scratch my back, I scratch your back, and screw the, retail investors. That's pretty much what we see. That's, in my opinion. They are... they're not in our best interest. Nothing, no one, no government official, nothing is in our best interest. On the insurance bubble, may I add, areas that wind, hail prone, constant issues in Dallas. Oh yeah, no, 100%. 100%. So, when it comes to the, okay, so with the housing market, this is Michael Burry approved. Oh gosh. When it comes to the housing bubble, right, the insurance areas and things like that, so it's being dubbed the climate change bubble or something like that. And what it is that areas that have are prone to climate change, so strengthening hurricanes, more tornadoes, devastating storms, and things like that. So your Central Plains, your Tornado Alley, snowstorms that are catastrophic because, for some reason that's a thing now, and fires and earthquakes and landslides, like things like this. So climate change catastrophe is what, I hate that term. I absolutely hate that term because they keep changing it, whatever. But anywhere that's prone to that, is seeing an increase of 30 to 40% in their housing insurance costs, their premiums. And so, like, take like Miami, for instance. There were people that were paying, $2,200 to $2,400 for the premiums. They're now paying like $5,000, which is double and kind of disgusting. And it's and that's just one area. That's just down in Miami, and they're prone to hurricanes. So I have asked people up in the Midwest, I've asked people out in California, and they are all confirming that yes, they are seeing higher premiums. And this, I started looking into this back in March, and so most people have already by now at this point had to figure out their premiums and whatnot. So they have been going up, making it harder to pay your mortgage because that increases the cost, your monthly cost. And so yeah, it's kind of insane. Dog had to eat. No worries, Tampa Kurt. Never ending me. I am so confused with you, Johnny Rocket. What? What is the website to look up banks' chances of going bankrupt? Oh, that was macro. On a macro. I can never remember it.
Macro access.
Yes, macro access. I can put it in the chat real quick. I've so like I would it's that like autofill type thing. You already have it, so you don't remember the whole thing. Armageddon stuff. Yeah, pretty much. OCC.gov maybe. No. If we can vote with our broker, why do we need to transfer to computer share? I should get NFT regardless, right? If I can vote, I'm a real GME investor. Yes, that is. You don't have to transfer to CS. You don't have to. I don't know why that narrative is going around that you have to go to CS. And actually, someone brought it to a good point too. Safety reasons. That it's the same thing. You're putting in all your information and whatnot. I get sketched out by things like that. So I will keep my shares where they are at. I don't know. Like I don't know why. I understand that some people want to do extra steps, but the basic, simple, as we've done for months, buy, hold, educate. It's working. We're seeing it work, and so I don't know why we have to have extra steps here. Just my opinion. Like it isn't buy, hold, find other loopholes to get MOAS to happen. That wasn't the saying when we all started this. That wasn't the thing. It was literally like buy, hold, educate, teach new apes, like, which I'm loving. I'm loving seeing more spaces, teaching the newer apes what's going on and whatnot, because I know people get lost and it's a lot to take in. And so I do appreciate everybody that's been hosting those spaces and those Discord streams and YouTube streams and everything to kind of catch everybody up, because 10 months of just BS is a lot. And so it's I really appreciate everyone doing that. I think that's the biggest key that we could do, because I'm sure there's a bunch of new apes that are out there, new retail investors that are they're hopping into GameStop. They see what's going on, but they don't actually understand why they're doing it. They just know this is what's supposed to be going on, and so I think it's good. We've had 10 months to just kind of learn and embrace and figure all this information out, and they're just learning it. It's a lot. I feel if I can vote for my GME, I should get a dividend NFT as well. Just seems like a funny narrative. Yeah, I don't know why. I've not heard this where you can't get your NFT dividend if you're not with computer share. I've not heard this. So either I am completely oblivious to what the hell you guys are talking about, or I would say it's a bullshit narrative. Hey, what's going on?
Well, you get your dividend regardless of where you're at, so there shouldn't be an issue unless they're synthetics, which we all come to the conclusion that there are. That's where it's going to come into play. Because I get my dividends from, I think it's BP. Yeah, BP pays my dividends directly through my broker. I just see it in my account. So with that said, like I said, if they're going to issue an NFT dividend, we should do it about the same way, like I said, unless they're synthetics, which, again, once they issue a dividend, we'll confirm that.
Yeah, but I would assume, after it's all sorted out, you'd still get your dividend. Like, there's a funny thing that has to go with that. Like, they're not going to be like, oh, sorry, you're cut off because we've reached the right amount of shares. Like, there's going to be something with it, I'm sure.
Yeah, I'm assuming that they're trying to put all that together, what it looks like, because there's going to be something new. How do you transfer a dividend NFT through your broker or brokerage account? What is that dividend, or what is it going to look like? Like, so I'm pretty sure 99% they're looking at trying to hammer all that out.
Yeah, 100%. People suspect that broker won't handle an NFT dividend. I think there was an issue with the overstock crypto dividend. I'm sure, Sparky. Like, I'm sure there's going to be some hangups with it, but I'm not worried. I'm personally not worried. I don't know. Like, I'm more worried about putting all my stuff into, like, computer share or something. Like, I don't know. That sketches me out. It's just it kind of brings me back to the Say Technology thing. Like, that whole thing sketched me out. I don't know, guys. They may need to use a wallet. Yeah, that would be my thing. They're probably, hey, attach your Ethereum wallet or whatever. It's my money. I want it now, right? what I'm saying, Johnny Rocket. That's what I'm saying. Um, there's just a lot. There's a lot to it. There really is, and we're just in so much unnavigated territory that we can't be panicked. We just gotta stay calm. We gotta stay just collected and kind of just wait it out and see what happens in a sense. I mean, yeah, be proactive, 100%. But at the same time, we can't panic and freak out, because that's when when you freak out, that's when mistakes are happening. That is 100% when mistakes will happen, is if you start freaking out about the XYZ. If anything, call your broker. Call your broker and say, hey, is there, can you handle an NFT dividend? If they say no, well, you got your answer. But I'd call a few times, because there's some incompetent people. I would definitely call a few times. To give the dividend, they would have to take all the shares out. So if CS is locked up, then hedge funds have to buy back synthetics at our price. Gamestop hedgies have to get rid of all shares before. I'm worried that everyone else is worried. I'm not worried. I'm just chilling, guys. Like, I'm probably the chillest I've been for months. We can give out NFT. People start doing stupid stuff. Yeah, right? 100%. That's exactly what I just said. Play a game. Go for a walk. This week could be fun. I look forward to this week, just given, researching what, Boss Blunts has been putting out, what, Unusual Whales is finding, and anybody else. Like, they've all been just really amazing to kind of watch, because this week could be very interesting, and if they are all correct. If that is correct, if they are all correct, which they've not all ever come out and said, like, one thing or another at the same time, I think that'd be very interesting to see. Me personally, it's been fascinating to re-dive back into the banks the way I have been, and the oh my god, the Panama Papers. Did everybody see that was released? Anybody see that? Like, they're releasing names and shit. So this is, I think the high up, the elite people being exposed, and Robinhood and Citadel, like, throwing each other under the bus. The drama that they have, 100%. This is going off of Tampa Kurt's drama-free weekend the last 2 days was cool. Yeah, 100%. I think that actually fed into it. I think all of this shit blowing up on the 1% is instilling the faith in the ape community again, because we're like, oh shit, we were right, we're right, guys. Pandora Papers, thank you, not the Panama Papers. I'm retarded, sorry, Inferno. It's been a long day. But yeah, the Pandora Papers. I think that is going to be very interesting to watch. I'm going to try to figure it out tonight if I can. They would have to consolidate all shares from Synth to float before giving NFTs. Shorts must cover and buy back all fake shares before NFT is given. Good to know. Well, I mean, hey, so, okay, yeah, I have no idea. Does anybody have anything they want to add? Come up and say anything or anything like that?
Yeah, I'm just sitting here waiting for this whole GameStop thing, and I'm with you. Just chill out, relax. It's gonna happen. And you'll know it when it happens. Just sit back and relax.
Set a bunch of alerts and just don't look at the screen. That's all I can say, especially this week. If it's going to be an interesting week, it's going to be an interesting week. If not, well, it's just same old shit every different days, right? Everyone that criticized someone else had offshore assets. Right? I think that is the best thing ever. Like, I'm sorry. There's so much shit being just put out there. It's amazing with, anything controversial. I'll just say it that way. Anything and everything you can think of that's controversial in this world has been exposed the last 2 weeks. And it's like, okay, you've been holding on to this shit for a while. Why are you just now talking about it? Why are you releasing this? What is about to happen that you need to draw so much attention away from certain things? So, yeah, we'll see. We'll see. I'm curious. I'm very curious. I love it. I love it. So I might get in Discord tonight and live stream or whatever, working on this. If anybody wants to do that, that's cool. If not, I will blare my music again and sit back and try to work on this. That's totally up to you if you guys want to do that. Other than that, I got nothing else. That went a lot faster than I anticipated, actually. And if there is something else you guys want me to add to the map, let me know. Just DM me. And I do have a new tag. Thank you, Kurt, for walking an old dog through that one. Because I was reading that and I was like, wait, he got a new tag? I want my tag that I really, really want. Thankfully I was able to get it. So I do have that. So if you guys are to tag me, you should be able to just find me with Kenna. But just know that it will pop up a little bit differently now. Thank God. Which is cool. But I do appreciate you helping that. But yeah, tomorrow is Monday. So I'm going to try to get Hambone on here. He's just wearing himself out every day. So I do apologize. He does have some really interesting information that he wants to share. So if anything, maybe he'll do a late night one tonight, or play his game and talk to you guys about it, because he's really mastered this City State 2 game. He's kind of ridiculous, guys. It's kind of ridiculous. Yeah, I'm not rambling. So add some ships. Yeah, right. Oh Lord. Oh, I don't even. That's all Hambone. That's his topic. He has it all planned out. So until tomorrow, guys. I will see you later.
All right, thank you. Have a good evening.
Good evening, guys.